Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you this fun flip-flop card that I created using the Framed Violets stamp set from the Violet Dreams online exclusive suite. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how to get started. Okay, we're going to start with our stamping in our card base, and I'm going to bring in this little dotted image and stamp around the outside perimeter randomly on my card front. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the same thing on the back. There we go. I've got my stamping done and I can set my card base to the side and bring in my focal point. I've also got my signature panel here, so I am going to ink up my violets. And I am going to stamp this, let's see, I'm going to stamp this right here on the right hand side. And then I'm going to bring in my sentiment, happy birthday to you, and I'm going to stamp that to the left of my image. And for my signature panel, I'm going to bring in the smaller flower image and simply stamp that, let's see, right there in the bottom right hand corner, just to add a little pop of color on the back. And I'm ready to color. Okay, I'm going to start my coloring with my Fresh Freesia and my Highland Heathers. So let's see, I'm going to bring in the big violet here and show you quickly how I'm doing this. So I am going to lay in first the color of the Fresh Freesia. And I'm doing this with just basic coloring, nothing fancy. And I've laid in that beautiful color. Then I'm going to come in with the dark and I'm going to highlight those areas I want with the shadow color. And finally I'm going to bring in my Highland Heather and extend that out. And then I've got just the tips of these with the Fresh Freesia, and if I need to smooth those, I can add a little more color and smooth those in where I want to, like so. Then I'll bring in my light Peaceful Pine and lay in the color for the leaf. And bring in that dark and add some color there and the little stem. So I've got my inside panel, or signature panel done I should say, on this card. Next I'm going to work on my focal point here, and I'm going to bring in that Fresh Freesia and start by laying in that color again. And then I'm going to add the dark and follow it up with the light. Now you may notice I'm doing one small area at a time on this focal point because I want to make sure that I am working with a wet edge as much as possible. It allows blending a little easier. And then moving on to the next flower. So there we go. I have my violets finished up, and I can move on to my stems and my leaves. Once again, I'm starting with the light and laying in color. For the stems, you're going to use a very light touch and move quickly so that you stay in those lines and it doesn't bleed as much. Then I'm going to come in and finish up the larger leaves. I've got that finished and I'm ready to start assembling my card. So I'm going to bring in the two mats and adhere my two panels down to the mat. I'm going to bring in my card base and adhere my focal point to the front. Flip it over and adhere my signature panel to the back. And I'm ready to fold it and tuck it right into my envelope. And when they open it, they will have this fun flip-flop card that'll stand where they'd like it used. So there you go. I've used the framed violet stamp set from the Violet Dream suite of products found in July's online exclusives. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.